Ted, welcome back. It's good to see you. Congressman Seth Magaziner made what you can call an unexpected announcement to you and your colleague Tim White on Channel 12's Newsmakers, which is that he is going back on a pledge that he had made that he would move into the district that he represents.
Yes, it did take us by surprise on the show when he joined us that day. Michelle, viewers will probably remember when Congressman Magaziner ran for Congress for the seat Jim Langevin was vacating in 2022. Very tight race against Republican Alan Fung. Was getting national attention. And one of the biggest knocks on Magaziner was, you don't live in this district. You know, if you want to represent us, you should live here. And he promised to move. He said, I pledge I will be moving there with my family. It's a tough housing market. It might take some time, but we're going to go there. And then last fall, right before last year's election, when he was up for re-election for the first time, Tim and I actually had discovered he had quietly moved his registration, which he had moved from the first to the second, was back in the first. And so Tim went to him and said, what happened here? I thought you were moving. And he said, well, the renovations are taking a long time. But now he's abandoned the idea he's moving altogether.
Let's hear what Congressman Magaziner had to say about ultimately why he decided not to move into that district.
My wife got a new job that requires her to commute to Cambridge, about a 2-hour commute. We had a new baby, and as you noted, the house in Cranston ended up needing a lot more work than we expected.
For people who are saying that's an about-face on your campaign promise.
Our circumstances changed. Sometimes in life, circumstances change, and so I have to do what's best for my family.
And no surprise here, Rhode Island State GOP chairman was quick to criticize Magaziner for this about-face. But I think the big question is ultimately, what will voters have to say about this?
Well, right, Michelle. I mean, we should be clear. This is legal. You don't have to live, if you're in the U.S. House, you don't have to live in the exact district you represent. You just need to live in the state you represent. And there are some other examples of lawmakers who live a little outside the district lines. But at the same time, as you said, he pledged to voters he would move, and he has walk that back. And so he isn't up for re-election until the end of next year in the midterms. And so there's a long time to go before he faces voters. But, you know, I've covered politics a long time, Michelle. It's not hard to imagine how an opponent would make a TV attack out of this controversy.
Right, saying something like broken promise, Seth Magaziner.
We've all seen it. Yes, exactly.
Let's turn now to a topic that we've talked about a lot here on Weekly Insight, which is healthcare, specifically the ongoing turmoil at South County Hospital. For viewers who are not familiar, what's happening there?
Well, so South County Hospital is something rare these days, Michelle, an independently owned and operated hospital in Rhode Island. All the others are part of bigger systems, Rhode Island systems, or even out-of-state systems. And it's always had a good reputation all the years that I've been a reporter in Rhode Island. But for months now, the hospital's executives have been facing quite a bit of criticism from outside advocates who say they're supporters of the hospital, as well as some of their own staff. They've criticized them for alleged financial mismanagement, for being sort of imperious and a lack of good leadership. And it's now escalated to the point where the hospital is actually suing the advocacy group Save South County Hospital that's been putting all this pressure on them.
And this comes as leaders in Rhode Island's healthcare sector have already been sounding the alarm about the financial strains that they're feeling, and ultimately they're worried about the future of the industry.
Yes, and that's actually part of what makes this a surprising situation, Michelle, because South County, unlike most of the hospitals in Rhode Island, has a relatively large percentage of its patients who have commercial insurance, which pays better. Attorney General Peter Nerona has pointed that out too. That should have been good for its bottom line, but South County's been losing millions of dollars a year, which is why one of the reasons all this criticism has come to the fore. I should note, executives at the hospital say there's no risk it's going to close or anything like that, and they do argue the situation is improving, but a lot of consternation down there right now.
Thank you, Ted. Good to see you.
Good to be here.